Good morning, Year 6, and welcome to Thursday's maths lesson. We're going to have a little look today at some shapes, some of us, and others are going to be having a little look at a block graph. So without further ado, let's have a little look and see what you've got to do today. So if you're on book 2, you're going to be looking at interpreting block graphs, and I'm going to introduce you to that in a minute. But first of all, your starter is you're going to be revisiting your 5 times table. And I've got a couple of multiplication wheels here that I want you to have a little look at. And what you're going to do is you don't need to draw the diagram. All you need to do is, we know we're multiplying by 5, so we're going to go round the circle, write it in our purple book. We're going to put 5 times 2 equal, and we put the answer, then underneath 5 times 3, and we'll keep working all the way around one circle, and then we'll go on to the other multiplication wheel. Okay, so that's your starter activity. Then what you're going to do is you're going to have a little look at a block graph. Okay, now this is a block graph, and each of those little blocks on the graph represents one counter in this particular thing. It could be one item of clothing, it could be one animal, okay? But in this, it's counters. And what we're going to do is have a little look at how we can interpret and how the block graphs are put together. Okay, so we have a little look here. So down here, on this part of the graph, which we call the y-axis, that is tells you how many. So how many of each of those colours have we got? Along the x-axis, along this part, the bottom, it tells us the colour, and it's blocked out. That's why it's a block diagram, okay? Each of those represents one colour. So yellow, if we count up, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could put 4 there because that might help me to answer my questions. Green here, I've got 1, 2, 3. So I would write 3 there, and again, might come in handy. Red, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd write 5 there. And finally, blue, I've got 2 of those. Okay. So you've got some questions that you need to answer. And it's by looking at each of those, and you might need to do a little bit of addition. Sometimes you might have to do a bit of subtraction. Have a little look. So, yellow counters. It says, use the graph to find the number of yellow counters. So 1, 2, 3. I've already counted them. I know there's 4. So in my book, I would write today's date and learning question. So the 28th of the 1st, 2021. Can I interpret block graphs? And I would jot down number 1, 4 yellow counters. Okay. Then I go back to the next question. How many red counters? So number 2, how many red counters? So if I look at my graph, it's 5. So I would write 5 red counters. Okay. Then, so you've got to do the same for blue and the same for green. And then it asks you how many green and blue counters. So it's asking you for 2 bits of information now. So we need to look at 2 columns. So green and blue counters. I know I have 3 green and 2 blue. So I would say green and blue counters, I've got 3, add 2, it's 5. Okay. And you carry on and have a little look at the other questions there. Finally, it says how many counters altogether, or how many counters altogether except yellow. So altogether means how many counters have I got in total? So that means I've got to add up all the amount of counters I've got. So I've got to add that column to that column to that column to that column. So I would have 4, add 3, add 5, add 2, and then I'd be able to write my answer. And all the counters together except yellow. 2 ways I can do that. I can ignore the yellow block there and just add 3, add 5, add 2. Or I can use my answer cleverly from here. So I'll have worked out how many I've got altogether, and then I know I've got 4 yellow counters, so I could just subtract the 4 from it. Okay, so you have your starter activity, which is the multiplication wheels that you're going to do in your purple book. Then you're going to answer these questions. I've done a couple together, and I've shown you how you can do the other ones. You're going to write again those in your purple book with the date and the learning question. The learning question is, can I interpret block graphs? And then what you're going to do is you're going to look at your book 2 and you're going to turn to page 35. And you've got some questions based on a diagram where one block is one item of breakfast cereal or breakfast items, okay? And you're going to answer the questions on that page. Finally, you're going to come up as a challenge, a question for me, either on this diagram or the one in your book, page 35. Okay, looking forward to seeing what you do. Good luck. Send me pictures. Okay, everybody else, if you work on book 3 or 4 or 5, you are going to be having a look at this as your starter activity. And we have been looking in the past at area and perimeter. Area, the amount of surface something covers, perimeter all the way round. Remember the area, centimetres squared, we measure it in, and perimeter is just centimetres, or centimetres particularly in this here, okay, but it might be meters, etc. So centimetre squared in this section for area, centimetres for perimeter, okay. So you've got to work out the area and the perimeter of those rectangles, okay. Now think back what we did, how did we calculate them? Okay, area, length times width, perimeter all the way round. So good luck with your starter today. Don't need to draw the rectangles, just give me the answer in your purple books. Okay, so if you work in book 3 and 4, you're going to be concentrating on different types of triangles today. So you're going to be having a little look at right angle triangles. Okay, and right angle triangles, as it says, has a right angle in them. Okay, right angle triangle has a right angle, and we can see the right angle here in that corner, that square corner. It equals 90 degrees, and you can find it by either using your ruler or using a piece of paper and seeing if the edges of your paper line up with the corner. Then you've got an equilateral triangle, and an equilateral triangle, you can see here, it's got 60, 60, 60, so the angles are the same, and you've got 3 little black dashes here, one there, one there, one there, which tells us that the sides are the same. So equilateral triangle, 3 equal sides, 3 equal angles. Okay. Then we've got a really tricky spelling. If that wasn't bad enough, we've got isosceles coming up now. And an isosceles triangle is different to an equilateral and a right angle because it has 2 equal sides. 1, 2, and it has 2 equal angles. Yeah, 2 equal angles. Now a scalene triangle, that has no equal sides and no equal angles. And you've got the pink as an example here. That has no equal sides or angles. Okay, so remember those different types of triangle because they're going to come in handy today for your activities. Okay, always keep pausing your video, coming back to help you to remember. So equilateral triangle, 3 equal sides, 3 equal angles. And the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180. Okay, right angle triangle has a right angle in it. We've got the square corner there. Isosceles, 2 equal sides, 2 equal angles. And finally, a scalene, no equal sides, no equal angles. Okay, so what do I want you to do? You're going to not draw these in your book. You'll put today's date and the learning question, can I recognise and name different triangles? Okay. You will just jot the number of the triangle down and you're going to identify what type of triangle it is. Okay. Then you're going to go to page 32 in your book 4 and you are going to have a little look at the questions that are there. You've got a little bit of a recap on 2 activities to do with shape, and you've got some triangles to match the definition to. Okay, so good luck with that. Finally, you have a challenge, and your challenge is you've got a triangle, and what you've got are the digits, the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have got to place those numbers, and you can only use the number once, in one of those circles so that each of the sides of your triangle totals 9. Okay, so good luck with those ones. Okay, right. Finally, if you work in book 4 and often in book 5, you're going to be looking at this work today. Okay, so you are going to be looking at angles and particularly angles in a full turn. So we've got a little bit of a recap here to remind you of the different types of angles. We have done these in the past, so acute angle, okay, less than 90, right angle is 90, obtuse angle, bigger than 90, but not bigger than 180. Straight line, that's going to be important tomorrow in our maths, 180 degrees. Then we've got reflex angles, they're bigger than 180 degrees and heading towards the full turn. Okay, and then we've got the complete full turn, which is in a circle 360 degrees. Okay, so let's have a little look at what we're going to be concentrating on today. So we're going to be looking at angles in a full turn. So we know that a full turn is 360 degrees. Okay, so full turn, I'll put full turn, haven't I, there to remind us. Full turn equals 360 degrees. So we've been given an angle, okay, and we've got to calculate what the missing angle is, the bit in blue. So how we do that is we take the angle we've been given away from 360. Okay, angles in a full turn, 360. We're finding the missing angle, so we've got a full turn. So here we go. First one. So we've been given 307, but we don't know what that missing angle x is. So if I do 360 take away 307, then we get 0 take away 7 I can't do, so I'm not next door. 10 take away 7, I can do that now. 3, 5 take away nothing is 5, 3 take away 3. So my missing angle, x there, is 53 degrees because 307 and 53 add up to 360. That's our turn. Okay, let's have a go at another one then. Okay, So the next one along, we've got 128 degrees. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to do 360 because that's what would be in the full turn. We've got 128 already, but we need to know what the missing one is. So we're going to take away 128. And then what we're going to do here, okay, 0 take away 8 we can't do. Not next door. 10 take away 8 is 2. And 5 take away 2 is 3. And 3 take away 1 is 2. So our missing angle is 232 degrees. Okay. Yeah. Full turn, 360. We need to find the missing one. So we take away from 360. Okay. Let's do one more, and then you can have a go at the last one. Okay, so here we go. So we've got 360. Take away, we've got 219. Okay. So 0 take away 9 I can't do, so I'm going to knock next door. 10 take away 9 is 1. 5 take away 1 is 4. 3 take away 1. 3 take away 2 is 1. So our missing angle is 141 there. Finally, you've got 82. So in your book, you're going to write this down. We're going to make sure it goes in the right column. Okay. You're going to have a little go at that question yourself. I'm going to make sure I get a nice straight line there. Mrs. Heavey, that was terrible. Okay, there we go. That's a bit better. Okay, so have a little go at the last one. What do you get? Pause your video. Have a little go. Okay, year 6, how did you do? So 0 take away 2, can't do, so go next door. Okay, 10 take away 2 is 8. 5 take away 8, I can't do it. So I'm not next door. And I'm going to borrow. So 15 take away 8 now is 7. And 2 left there. 2 take away 0 is 2. So my missing value was 278 degrees. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully you're feeling confident having gone through those ones. So let's have a look at what you're going to do. So next thing is sometimes they're not as straightforward and easy as we would like some of these questions. So we've got some questions here where we're given some, we're not told all the values of them, and we've got to do a little bit of detective work. We might need to add some of those, add some together before we find a total before we can take it away from 360. So here we've got X, we've been given 106 here, and then we've got a square corner here, which tells us that that angle there is a right angle. So what we've got to do here, first of all, is we've got to do 106. We've got to add 90 to it. Then we know how many we've got, or what the angle is we've got already. So 6, 9, 196. Okay. Nice and easy. Then we're going to take that away from 360, and then we know what X is. So 360 take away 196. 0 take away 6, can't do. So we're going to knock next door. 10 take away 6 is 4. Okay. 5 take away 9, can't do. So we're not next door. 15 take away 9 is 6. 2 take away 1 is 1. And so X is 164. So sometimes we need to work out, we need to do a little bit of addition before we get to the subtraction. And that's what you've got on some of those. Okay. got another one over here. Okay, and they can look a little bit tricky, but honestly, once you get into them, they are really nice and straightforward. I'm just going to turn my board so you can see it a little bit better. So far I've got 152, I've got 51. Oh, and I've got a square corner here again. So that means 90. So I'm going to do 152, add 51, add 90. And then I know what angle I've got to start off with. So I've got 2 add 1 is 3. 5 add 5 is 10, and that now makes 19. And then I've got 1 to carry over. 1 and 1 is 2. So I've got 293 degrees. I need to work out what x is. So now I know what I've already got. I can take it away from 360, 293. I'm going to take it away. Nothing take away 3, can't do. So I'm going to borrow. 10 take away 3, 7. 5 take away 9, can't do. So I need to knock next door again. 15 take away 9 is 6. 2 take away 2 is 0. Okay, so I know that my missing degrees are 67. Okay, so I've added up and then I've taken away from 360. Okay, so what have you got to do today then? This group. So you have got a series of boards. You start off nice and easy with the red. Okay, so you're going to have to sort of play the video to the end, then come back and freeze it, pause it, so you can have a little look at the questions. So you've got a board of red, nice and easy ones, those ones. So just remember what we do. If we've got one angle, all we've got to do, take that away from 360. And they get a little bit trickier because you need to work out what your missing angle is. You've been given that one and that, you've been given that one. You've got that one and that one. So you might need to do a little bit of adding up first. You've been given that one and that one. And they're nice and straightforward because that one's got a 90 degrees in and that one has and that one. So it's testing your brain a little bit. You've got 3 more trickier ones. Okay. And then you're going to go to your book next. So you are going to go to your book 5. And you're going to have a look at page, and I have written it on the previous slide. You're going to look at page 33. Okay. Now you're going to have a little look at questions 1 and 2. 1 and 2. And when you've had a go at that page, those questions, so let's recap. Okay, you are going to start with the red. Yeah. Take away from 360. Going to go to the orange, so you've got to do a little bit of an addition and then take away from 360 like I've shown you. Then you're going to go to your book and you're going to do page 1 and 2. You go to your book, page 1 and 2. Yep. And then finally, you are going to then go on to this challenge. So you've got more than one addition that you need to do and then see what the missing angle is that you have got. Okay, so good luck with your work today. You're going to need your purple book as well as your book 5. I'm sure that you're going to do incredibly well, and I look forward to seeing what you get up to. Good luck, everybody, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye.